Good evening, I'm Keisha Butts with the CTV News Update. 2 weeks and counting, and Maryland gets back to normal. Governor Larry Hogan says he's lifting the COVID-19 state of emergency starting July 1st. As we reported yesterday, this means all emergency mandates at schools, camps, and child care facilities will be lifted. Also, masks will not be required. However, workplaces and businesses can still set their own policies. Hogan's announcement is drawing mixed reactions in Prince George's County.
I think everybody should wear a mask until we are sure this is over with.
I just wish everybody would take heed and pay attention. And if you think you may catch something, wear the mask. If you don't, hey, take it off.
Oh, I think it's a little too early.
Can you tell me why you think it's a little too early?
Well, because a lot of people is not vaccinated yet.
Meantime, Hogan says he will extend the eviction moratorium until August 15th. The state health department reports 78 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. An additional 6 Marylanders have died from the virus. The state's death toll is now nearly 9,500. 167 residents are currently hospitalized with COVID-19. A press conference and rally were held in Annapolis today. At issue is the video of 4 black teenagers arrested by Ocean City police. The video was shot over the weekend. The NAACP and other groups staged the rally and are demanding a state investigation, as well as the removal of the officers from their posts until the investigation is complete. Police say the teens who have been charged with resisting arrest and assault were vaping on the boardwalk in an area where it is not allowed.
All of this is unfortunate. The notion that people come to resorts, cities, to relax, to have fun, to enjoy vacation. This was the opposite of that. And it's very unfortunate that this happened.
Some elected leaders are weighing in. Governor Hogan calling it disturbing. Congressman Anthony Brown called it a visible example of police misconduct. The price of health care is going up for some in Maryland. CareFirst Blue Cross says it will raise rates for certain plans by about 8%. The proposed rates are for those who buy plans on the state's health exchange or directly from an insurer. State insurance officials attribute the rate increases to the impact of the pandemic. Some consumers may see premiums drop. Kaiser Permanente says its premiums are expected to drop by 5%. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. We'll be back in a moment.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all of the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit princegeorgescountymd.gov. That's princegeorgescountymd.gov. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
Welcome back. There could soon be a new U.S. federal holiday. The U.S. Senate passed a bill yesterday that could make June 19th, also known as Juneteenth, a federal holiday. Juneteenth commemorates the date when enslaved African Americans in Texas learned they were finally free in 1865. This was about 2 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which ended slavery. Juneteenth would be the 12th federal holiday. The University of Maryland held a Juneteenth celebration this morning. The in-person and virtual ceremony highlighted the history of Juneteenth. It featured African-American drummers and dancers and spoken word performers. The mayor of College Park, Patrick WOJAHN, read a proclamation recognizing Juneteenth in the city.
And I think it's important as we celebrate the end of slavery and we celebrate that significant milestone in the long path to the long road to emancipation, also for us to reflect upon how far we still have to go and how much work we still have to do in the city of College Park and around the country.
Actually, this is not only the state of Maryland's first year acknowledging Juneteenth, but the University of Maryland. So we thought it only be fitting that we celebrate and expose the campus via education, drumming, and dance, which are some of the traditional methods of celebrating Juneteenth.
We are celebrating Juneteenth, a day of celebration. Not just a day, but a time of celebration. At one time in history, we could not celebrate. It took 2.5 years after slavery officially ended for that celebration to occur. And for some individuals, there still was no celebration because the oppression was still there.
The ceremony took place at the Stamp Student Union. It was organized by the School of Public Policy. Tomorrow marks the 50th anniversary of America's war on drugs. President Nixon made that declaration in June 17, 1971. Critics have long claimed the war on drugs was a cover to target black people and anti-war liberals. Now a local organization is renewing the call to end the war on drugs. The grassroots organization Progressive Maryland is holding a webinar tomorrow to talk about the effort. The group is calling for a public health and harm reduction approach to the nation's ongoing drug problem.
It's looking at drug use through the lens of public health. So that would include policy reforms such as establishing overdose prevention sites, where if someone is actively using opioids, they have a place where they can, safely have access to clean needles, having any kind of substances that they're used tested so they know, what they're putting into their body. And then there's also medical personnel there in the case of an overdose. And the other thing about these sites too is that they also often have like wraparound services. So, as folks spend, some time there, they can be connected with counseling to stop using drugs whenever they're ready.
The webinar is tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. To take part, log on to progressivemaryland.org and click the upcoming events tab. A Bowie physician has been charged with Medicaid fraud and drug distribution. 66-year-old Vitalis Ajebe is accused of overcharging Medicaid patients $200 per visit. Also accused of prescribing oxycodone without a legitimate medical purpose. The physician operated Sunrise Medical Clinic in Lanham. Officials say he abused his position and contributed to the spread of the opioid addiction in Maryland. More news in a moment. Stay tuned.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
A lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Thank you for staying with us. The state's highest court is considering a proposal that could allow for the reduction of some jail sentences. Judges are weighing whether to allow anyone sentenced to prison before turning 25 to seek new sentences after serving at least 15 years behind bars. The changes would also allow inmates 60 and older and have served at least 15 years to seek similar relief. Advocates point to scientific research indicating that the part of a person's brain responsible for executive function and said rational reasoning doesn't fully mature until age 25. The research also shows that older adults are less likely to reoffend once released. The proposal is now before the Rules Committee for further review. Amazon and Metro strike a $125 million deal to develop affordable housing in the Washington region. The goal is to bring 1,000 affordable housing units to Metro stations in the next 5 years. $25 million will be targeted for minority-led development projects. Officials say the housing plan will allow families to live in areas with easy access to jobs, hospitals, and schools. The agreement is part of Amazon's $2 billion housing equity fund, which aims to create more than 20,000 affordable housing units. What do tattoos and Juneteenth have in common? A Bowie tattoo shop is helping the community by raising money for this holiday. As she puts a stencil on a client, owner Jacqueline Matikas of Pretty in Ink is gearing up for the big event. The shop will be offering tattoos of African American imagery this Saturday. All proceeds will go towards a community day hosted by the store. They raised more than $3,000 for the NAACP last year.
Community, first of all, is what our clients are made of, so we always want to make sure that we're supporting and doing something good with our business. As far as Juneteenth, all of the artists here besides myself are African American, so I believe that it's important to support them and have everybody lock arms.
Pretty in Ink is also providing discounted tattoos for Pride Month. For more information, visit prettyinink.net. Live entertainment venues in Maryland are getting a big boost. The state is allocating $10 million to live music and performance venues and live entertainment promoters impacted by the pandemic. 49 venues and 14 promoters from across the state will receive the money. Here in Prince George's, 5 venues and promoters will receive funding. They include the Bowie Bay Sox Baseball Club, the Athletic Republic, the Coalition of African Americans in the Performing Arts, D&T Entertainment, and the Prince George's Cultural Arts Foundation. Well, let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy with lows around 57 degrees. Thursday, sunny with highs in the upper 70s. Friday, sunny and warmer highs near 86. Saturday, possible showers and thunderstorms, highs in the upper 80s. And now for the community calendar. 2 churches are teaming up with the County Police Department to host a Father's Day celebration. That's this coming Sunday, June 20th. Hemingway Memorial AME Church and Love AME Church are hosting the event with the department. It begins at 10:30 at 7600 Barlow Road in Landover. Organizers say you can bring a lawn chair or watch the event from your car. Again, the event begins at 10:30. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30. Have a good night and stay safe.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.